everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we have an exciting topic for you guys. How to find an already established business that's worth buying. And we have Samar with us today. So, welcome Samar.
Thank you very much.
So, how's it going? What are you up to these days?
Going well. I'm traveling quite a bit, so happy to be finally back in India. This time, I think I was out for about 2 months. But yeah, happy to be here and good weather actually.
Yeah, that is true.
But yeah, busy but good busy.
Okay, so that's good to hear. So, let's jump into today's topic. So now that we are discussing how to find these established businesses, so what do you think should be the first step towards this thinking?
Yes, you see, I mean, I discussed this topic with you offline, and the idea was that it's very difficult to start a business and take it from 0 to 1, right? In our terminology, like 0 to 1 is when you start something and you start doing some small revenue. It's very, very difficult. It might not seem like that, but it's very tough getting the processes, getting the customer profile right, all that stuff. So a lot of times it's a very good idea to actually buy a business that's already running, and the person, the owner typically is trying to or thinking of retiring or moving to a different country and stuff. They're looking to sell the business, and it's a very good time for a new entrepreneur to jump into that business and potentially make it more tech enabled and scale it, right? So it's a much easier way to scale than, let's say, saying that you have a business which is doing which is zero, and then create a brand and stuff. So I think with that being said, the first step should always be first find your interest. A lot of founders think, okay, I want to do this business which can grow big or which can make me a lot of money, etc., etc. But what they don't understand is, if you have to work on something every single day, you have to really enjoy it. You shouldn't feel that you are working when you are going. You shouldn't have Monday blues if you're working on your own business, because if you start having Monday blues and there is nobody else on top of you to report to, it becomes a drag very quickly. So my first point would be, really understand what is your passion. What is it that you can do for 5 years, 10 years without thinking that it's work? And then I would say, think what the trends are, right? So for example, let's say printing paper business or printing magazine business, right? I don't think it's a good business because the trend is moving away from print.
Yeah.
Right. So I think you have to be a little more creative in the sense that, what is the trend like? So for example, cold drink business, soft drink business. People are moving away from soft drinks, sugary soft drinks.
Yeah.
People want to eat healthy stuff. So understand what the trend is today and try to align yourself with that trend, because it obviously saves a lot of time. There's natural pull in the market. And finally, what I would say is, understand your budget and start something that is very logical for that budget.
Yeah.
So a lot of people tell me that I want to start a ride hailing company like Uber.
Yeah.
But I don't have a budget, I'll make it profitably. That doesn't happen, right? Every business has sort of a playbook that is defined by the large companies already in that business. So you can't really say that I'll do something and I'll just create my own rules. That happens once in maybe 10 years or whatever. Doesn't happen often. Don't bet against time, and just keep it simple, at least when you are starting out. So yeah.
So my next question to you would be, how do we find these businesses if we are
Sure.
looking for?
So today, it's a social media world, right? The first step should always be definitely social media. So go to social media, join these groups. In fact, I'm part of a lot of these groups where people are selling their businesses. Typically, it's country-wide group, So I live in Dubai. So there's a business buy and sell businesses UAE group on Facebook. So I think that's the first step. That should be the first step, because not only just from a finding the business perspective, but also just starting to talk to people who are selling and buying businesses. I think it's just, good starting point. And then there are a lot of brokers, call them business brokers or whatever. They're mostly like accounting firms, right? People go to them when they have to shut down a business or when they are thinking of moving on and stuff. So these people will typically enable people to buy and sell these businesses. And so brokers are there, but again, those brokers are also very easily findable through these social groups that I mentioned. And then finally, I think another way would be, the final way would be to go to companies like acquire.com. They are more like a bit remote businesses, which are virtual businesses, so to speak. But yeah, acquire.com is one good example. There are some competitors also. But yeah, social groups, brokers, acquire.com. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, once we have found these potential businesses, like, what should be our next game plan? How do we know that this business is the right fit for us?
Yeah, so that's a tough one, right? I mean, that's probably the toughest cookie, because most of the time, a person who's trying to sell their business is always looking to, sugarcoat their business a little bit, or try to be a little more, you know, uh, I would not say untruthful, but try to increase the value of the business, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get the maximum value out of their business. So what I would suggest is that, the most important thing that you should do is spend a few days with the owner in the business while it's running. That's super, super critical, right? I mean, that's one of the most important things. Understand, how is the owner behaving when the business is, when he or she is at the business. How are the customers liking the business? Do they like the service or not like the service, right? What is the total general feel of it? Nothing can really, beat that. And if you can't do that, my suggestion is stay away from that business, because there are some owners who say, no, I will not let you come to my business till you buy the business. I think that's a big red flag, right? And then obviously audit the books properly, right? Understand the financials of the business, understand the liabilities of the business, right? You should talk to the bank with which the business banks, and understand, do they have any liabilities or not, right? And finally, look at their tax returns. If a business is saying that, they are profitable for this much time, and the tax returns corroborate all that, I think that's a good thing.
Okay, so what are some like specific things that we should look at, while evaluating these businesses?
Well, when you want to go deeper, so the first thing is, as I mentioned, like, understand the financial lay of the land, right? Spend some time at the business. That will give you a feel that, do you want to do it or not, right? And I think then when you have decided that, okay, it looks good, it's on my interest radar, it's in my budget, etc., then I think you should talk to some customers, past or present, and try to get reviews, right? You can go to online reviews and read them, but understand that, sorry, almost every business would have good reviews and bad reviews. So you have to really dig in, because almost any business you look at today will have some like really nasty reviews where people will just try to put the business down. But ignore that, but try to talk to a bunch of customers and understand the good and the bad points, and see if you can actually add any value to, so for example, when, let's say, I am thinking of acquiring a business, I would think myself that, okay, is there anything very obvious which I can do to improve the business, right? If that comes to my mind, then I would say, okay, it makes sense. But if you think, okay, this is, there is nothing that I can really bring to the table, then maybe the business is okay, but you are not the right fit for that business. Yeah. So, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay, so guys, many of us will have this question. So I'm just asking for you guys, take notes. So, like, what are the specific red flags that we should watch in a business? Like, if we are,
sure. So one, I think the most important thing should be lack of transparency from the seller.
All right.
A lot of sellers are super, secretive. They say, okay, I don't want to give away my big business secrets and stuff. That's generally a very big red flag, because most successful entrepreneurs I know about are very transparent with their employees, with their customers, with everybody. Nobody can really, steal business secrets that easily today.
All right.
So I think that would be the biggest red flag in my opinion. And then, bad reviews, you should definitely dig down. Are these rants from customers, or is the business genuinely not having good service quality? Right. And finally, I would say the big red flag would be, a lot of financial irregularities. Like, for example, there are some businesses which say that, they're profitable, they're doing well, but there's a lot of up and down in the revenue. Right, one month it's really positive,
Yeah.
the next month it's
Going down,
negative.
yeah.
So I think that's a red flag, right? Even though you might see that the business on the whole for a year is doing well, but the business does not have a regular so the data should not look very jagged, right? I mean, it should be, certainly there should be certain predictable trend.
Stability, like
Yeah, you need to have some stability and a trend.
Yeah, it's going up.
Yeah, going up, or even there are seasonalities in a
Yeah,
business.
yeah, of course.
In winters, let's say an ice cream business would go a little down,
Yeah.
but it should be predictable. It shouldn't be like super random
Yeah.
on a month basis.
All right. So my last question to you would be, what would be your piece of advice for someone who's looking to buy an established business?
Sure. So it's a little self-serving, but I think it's also true. So what I would say is that today almost every business, the differentiator is customer experience, right? And a big part of that customer experience is actually technology, right? So what you need to understand from any business when you're thinking of buying a business is, you have to think what changes can you bring in that business, efficiency wise or top line wise, using technology. Adopting technology in pretty much like a lot of old school well run businesses which have good brands but are not very tech savvy. If you can just adopt technology and make it more efficient, I think that's like half the battle won. So what I would say is, don't worry about buying a little mismanaged business if you feel that you can really change it or turn it around. But do understand the role of technology in that business and really make sure that you adopt technology really well so that you can grow that business.
Yeah. All right. So thank you so much, Samar, for doing this. I think
Thanks.
this would be really incredibly helpful for our viewers. And all right, I'm sure you guys found it really helpful. And if you guys enjoyed this video, so just like, comment, and subscribe for more great content. And until then, stay updated. We'll see you next time. Okay. Say bye to our viewers, Samar. Bye-bye.
So thank you everyone. It was great doing this video thing with you. And yeah, so let's try to bring actually I think going forward what we'll do is we'll try to tell you a business that we recently bought.
Yeah.
A little bit of story of that. And yeah, I think it will be a good experience for people to understand that this is what we did step by step when we were buying the business.
Yeah, guys. So just wait for the next video.
Okay.
Stay updated.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.